Good evening. Let's call the regular commission meeting, the Aventura City Commission regular meeting. Let's call the meeting to order and ask the clerk to call the roll.
Mayor Weinberg.
Here.
Vice Mayor Dr. Marks.
Here.
Commissioner Bloom.
Here.
Commissioner Friedland.
Here.
Commissioner Joel.
Here.
Commissioner Cruz.
Here.
Mr. Wasson.
Here.
And Mr. Myers.
Here.
You have a quorum.
Thank you. This chamber seems to be skewing a little younger tonight. Especially in the front. So if I'm not mistaken, we have students here that represent 5 student government association boards from Don Soffer Aventura High School. The executive board was elected, I guess, at the beginning of the school year, and there's representatives here this evening from 12th grade, 11th grade, 10th grade, and 9th grade. And these are our next generation of leaders. And recently they had a great pep rally, I think it was last Friday, for all the students. And great things are ahead. We're all looking forward to great things. They're going to be leading us with great things. These are our amazing student leaders for this coming year. It would be an honor if they would come up here to this day, this podium, and lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance. Wait till you're all there. Whenever you're ready, count to 3 and start.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Did you tell them they have to sing now?
Thank you all very much, and we're looking forward to a fabulous, fantastic year. No, I don't. You want to go ahead? I'm not saying anything. Okay, so item 3, any additions or deletions, Mr. Manager, or any commissioner?
No, Mayor, not from me.
Okay, I have one addition that I'm going to discuss before we get to item 6, so it'll be, I guess, right after consent agenda. So for now, let's move into special presentations. We have a couple of proclamations tonight. I'll read the first one. Whereas October is nationally recognized as Breast Cancer Awareness Month to raise awareness in support of those courageously battling this disease, in acknowledgement of the many survivors, and in honor of those lives lost. Whereas breast cancer is currently the most common cancer in women in the United States, with 1 in 8 women diagnosed with breast cancer during an average lifetime, while men are also diagnosed and affected by this disease at a significant but lower rate. And whereas through research and advocacy, advances have been made in the fight against breast cancer, including significant decreases in mortality, with currently more than 4 million breast cancer survivors in the United States. And whereas there are patients and survivors within the city of Aventura, including our beloved Commissioner, Amit Bloom, who are personally impacted by breast cancer and wish to raise awareness within our community. And whereas the city of Aventura would like to recognize Aventura Commissioner Amit Bloom as an advocate in efforts to increase awareness and education on the importance of early detection and screening of breast cancer. Now therefore be it resolved that I, Howard Weinberg, as mayor, and on behalf of the City Commission of the City of Aventura, Florida, do hereby proclaim October 2024 as Breast Cancer Awareness Month. we encourage all of our residents to wear pink every single day of the month, please. Pink all month. Thank you.
And I encourage everyone, when it's age appropriate, to get your mammograms because early detection saves lives. It saved mine.
Thank you. And thank you, Commissioner Bloom, for being an advocate. And also, I'm not done with you yet, because we have a second proclamation, which I would like you to do us the honor of reading.
So unfortunately, with the events happening in Israel today that I'm sure everybody is aware of, this proclamation is even more important. When I had originally discussed this proclamation, it was before the events of today, so it resonates pretty strongly. Whereas on October 7th, 2023, the State of Israel faced a coordinated and devastating terrorist attack that resulted in the loss of many innocent lives, injury to countless others, and widespread destruction. And whereas this tragic event was an unprecedented violation of Israel's security, sovereignty, and the safety of its citizens, causing profound shock and grief, not only within Israel, but throughout the world and within the city of Aventura, which has an unbreakable bond with the people of Israel. And whereas, as we reflect on the events of October 7th, 2023, we honor the memory of those who tragically lost their lives, extend our deepest sympathies to the families who continue to grieve, and express our gratitude to the brave first responders, soldiers, and civilians who took swift action to save lives and rebuild their communities. And whereas the one-year anniversary of this horrendous attack serves as a solemn reminder of the ongoing struggle for peace, stability, and security in the Middle East, and the need for continued efforts to combat extremism and terrorism in all its forms.
I get to read the last paragraph. Now therefore be it resolved that I, Howard Weinberg, as mayor and on behalf of the City Commission of the City of Aventura, Florida, do hereby proclaim that October 7, 2024 shall serve as a day of remembrance as we all pause to reflect on the victims, to honor the strength and courage of the Israeli people, and to reaffirm our commitment to the enduring friendship and partnership between the State of Israel and those who stand with her in the pursuit of peace, security, and justice for all. Okay, moving on, Mr. Manager.
Thank you, Mayor. At this time, I'm going to do a special recognition to one of our directors. He's back in the control booth, so I'm going to ask him, Carlos Fernandez, would you please come up to the podium for a minute? He's probably asking himself why he's being called down here, but I'm going to ask him to come down.
This is not the best way to let people go, Ron.
I'd like to take a minute to congratulate Carlos. He just received a certification as a governmental informational officer, and it was an above and beyond thing that he went on his own to do. Over the last 2 years, Carlos took over the IT department in Aventura and has done an outstanding job. I know he was nervous about when he got it, but I can tell you, it's been a pleasure. Anything that you throw at him, he does. He's been fantastic. The staff, loves him. He works throughout all our departments, and a lot of the improvements just in this room when the last 2 years was the result of his hard work. And believe me, it wasn't easy getting a lot of it done. Nothing phases him, but in the midst of doing all this IT work, he managed to get this certification, and I really wanted to thank you for doing that. And congratulations.
Thank you, Carlos, and thank you for your commitment and dedication. I'm going to back up for a moment because Maor Elbaz Durinsky has come in, the Consul General from Israel. I want to recognize him, and needless to say, it's a difficult day and a tough day if anyone watches the news at all, and the fact that you even made it here is, it's really an honor. You're a great friend of the city of Aventura, and we just issued a proclamation, and I don't know if we should read it again, but I want you to come up here and take a picture with us. I want to present you with this, and basically we are, it's a proclamation in full support of the state of Israel. So could you please come up and take a picture with us? Yeah. And before you come up, if you want to say a few words, you're more than welcome.
I'm colorblind. Well, I'm limping because today I exercised my right for the first time to play pickleball in your court. So thank you, but I am limping, so I'm not sure it was such a good idea. But as you said, Mayor, and dear Commission, that I consider as personal friends, it is yet another difficult day in a long year full of those. Just to think about my family, friends, my people, our people that are spending New Year's preparation in the shelter, hearing about 7 innocent people that were murdered by 2 terrorists in Jaffa, and this is just to name two incidents or events that happened today. Our military is striking at the same time in Yemen and in Gaza and in Jordan, Samaria and in Lebanon and in Gaza and soon probably in other places. So it is I am overwhelmed, but at the same time, I'm overwhelmed because of many good things that have happened in the past year. And first and foremost, what this city and this community has done for our people, for the state of Israel. You have stepped up. We have come together. We are more united than ever. And I think we have realized once and for all who is good and who is bad, who is evil, and who, just as we have done in the past 3,500 years, who is leading the world in terms of values and virtues and commitment to the things that really make us special, life and dignity and human rights and liberty and everything. So thank you very much for everything that you have done for the state of Israel. We will continue being committed to this alliance. We will continue to fight to bring our 101 hostages back home. I consider you my personal friends, and I know you consider me a friend, and thank you for the great city of Aventura and its residents for being my home for the past 3.5 years. Thank you.
I'm going to ask you to come up here for a photo, but before I do, I want to read to you just the last paragraph so you get the flavor of what this proclamation is. Of course, you'll have the whole thing in a second, but my kids accuse me of always repeating myself anyway, so they're usually right. But this was the last paragraph. Now, therefore, be it resolved that I, Howard Weinberg, as mayor on behalf of the City Commission of the City of Aventura, do hereby proclaim that October 7, 2024, shall serve as a day of remembrance, as we all pause to reflect on the victims, to honor the strength and courage of the Israeli people, and to reaffirm our commitment to the enduring friendship and partnership between the State of Israel and those who stand with her in the pursuit of peace, security, and justice for all. Come on up, please.
Mom, can you come over? Actually, yeah, if you just scooch in a little bit, that's good. Yeah, can you just push this down? There we go, that is perfect. And then now everybody just scooch over just a tiny bit. Yeah, just a little bit. Right there is perfect. Yep. And this side, keep moving in. Yeah. Perfect. All right. 1, 2, 3. Stay just like that. We're gonna do one more. 1, 2, and one last one. Stay just like that. Perfect. Thank you.
Okay. So we're still on special presentations and special recognitions. So I think it's important, if any of you watched the news this morning or just before you came over here, today was a pretty active day in Aventura. And Chief Bentalila and myself just returned from the State Attorney's Office for a press conference. Today was the culmination of a 3.5-year investigation of one of the condominium associations in Aventura. And there was an arrest made, and it's pretty remarkable when you think about the fact that our police department investigated this for 3.5 years. If I'm not mistaken, it started when Brian Pegues was the chief, and it continued with Chief Bentalila. And today was the culmination, and the state attorney is prosecuting, and we take very seriously protection of our residents. And there are not very many police departments that have the capability to investigate this kind of a financial crime. This is not a crime, this is not an assault and battery, this is not a mugging, this is taking people's money through very, very sophisticated methods. And when, I'm not commenting on the specifics of this case, but when people come forward from condominiums and go to our police department and say, I don't think, something doesn't seem right, our police take it very seriously. That's how this investigation started. People went to the police and said, I don't think things are right. Now, we all know people that say their board is corrupt, right? Nobody likes when their board asks them for more money. But breaking the law is not okay. And so everyone's innocent till proven guilty. Everyone's presumed innocent. This was a 3.5-year investigation. I just wanted to ask the chief, you did such a remarkable job at the press conference. I want you to be able to thank your detectives that really worked this case. It is so complex and so difficult. This is not quote unquote regular police work. It is remarkable. So chief, and my congratulations to your department as well.
Thank you for giving me the opportunity. If we're going to be talking numbers, it was a little over 4 years to be exact. And I take absolutely zero credit. And I believe also former Chief Pegues and current Assistant City Manager would also say the same. It's the hard work of the detectives who put in the work. We felt the pain of all the residents, and we didn't give up. And it was a very, very complicated case, and it's still ongoing. There will be more arrests coming, and we are excited to finally bring it to a close and hopefully bring some peace and happiness back to all the residents, and also send a message out to everybody else that we won't rest and we won't stop until behavior such as this doesn't exist anymore in our city. Thank you.
Thank you, and the men and women of your department. Okay, anyone want to take anything off the consent agenda? You want to remove anything from consent? I see no, then let me have a motion to approve the consent. Commissioner Friedland, seconded by Commissioner Bloom. Let's vote.
Commissioner Bloom,
Yes.
Commissioner Friedland,
Yes.
Commissioner Joel,
Yes?
Commissioner Cruz.
Yes.
Vice Mayor Dr. Marks.
Yes.
And Mayor Weinberg.
Yes.
Motion passes.
Great. Okay, the next item is an item I'm adding to the agenda, so we'll call it 5A. I met this week with the city attorney to find out legally if we can do something that I wanted to do. A few of you commissioners were with me in Tallahassee for Israel Day. It was a remarkable experience, and for the first time ever, the flag of the state of Israel flew over the Capitol in Tallahassee. It was really a moving moment. And I felt that it's really only fitting that here in Aventura, on October 7th, for that one day, the anniversary of the massacre, I would like here at City Hall to fly the flag of the state of Israel next to the flag of the United States of America. And I would need commission approval to do so. So I'm going to open it up for discussion, and I apologize to everyone for not having workshopped this. But I needed to know if it's something we can do without opening a Pandora's box. And I have a legal opinion now. That doesn't mean that anyone's entitled to fly a flag or demand that we do. We have absolute discretion, and the city attorney is nodding his agreement. So it's the same way that the legislature did up in Tallahassee. Would anyone like to comment or question?
I would just like to say that I think it's been the sense of this commission that we're unwaveringly in support of the state of Israel and the Jewish people in our community, in our country, and I think there's no question that we'll all agree, so I think we should just take it to a vote.
Okay, does anyone else? Commissioner Friedland, I see that you've punched in. Go ahead.
While we have the city attorney here, I'd like to know, is there a particular reason we can't fly it more frequently at this time, especially while we recognize that Israel is at war on multiple?
Well, the question was
Orders.
asked for just one day. Can you fly it for more than one day? My answer would be probably yes. There's a relatively recent Supreme Court decision that's really on point, and what you've done, and I'm not going to get into all the details, but the extent to which this is government speech. Government regulates speech. So if you want to fly the flag longer than one day, you can do that. But as the mayor said, it would have to be a motion by the commission, approved by the commission. And I also suggest that you probably should take public comment, on the matter, because it is an action taken by the government.
The motion on the table is for October 7th. That's what my preference is. But I am going to open it up to public comment after every commissioner who wants to comment or question has spoken. Any other commissioners wish to comment? Okay, then I'll ask if anyone on this specific topic, on this specific issue, 5A, wants to comment, or you're more than welcome to come up. I don't see everyone jumping up all at once, so I'm going to close it for public comment, and I'm going to ask for a vote. This is to raise the Israeli flag next to the flag of the United States of America on October 7th.
Just for clarification purposes, are you going to do that just for October 7th, or as Commissioner Freeland had mentioned, flying it for additional days?
This is a motion for October 7th.
Okay, and I do not have a motion on record.
I'm sorry. My mistake. I need a motion. Commissioner Cruz, seconded by Commissioner Bloom. And now we can vote.
Commissioner Bloom,
100% yes. Am Yisrael Chai.
Commissioner Friedland,
Yes.
Commissioner Joel,
Yes?
Commissioner Cruz,
Yes.
Vice Mayor Dr. Marks,
Yes.
and Mayor Weinberg.
Yes.
Motion passes.
I would ask that we direct the manager to make sure that we have an Israeli flag of sufficient size. I've already spoken to the Consul General from Israel, and he will seek to provide us with that also, so that we can accomplish this. Thank you all, Commissioners, so much. Okay, moving on to the 6, there's nothing. 7 is first reading. Ordinance, first reading. Madam Clerk?
An ordinance of the City of Aventura, Florida, amending Chapter 2, Administration of the City of Aventura Code of Ordinances to create Section 2-261, Prohibition against contracting with parties that boycott Israel, to establish contract procedures for all city contracts, providing for conflicts, providing for severability, and providing for an effective date.
Thank you. I need a motion to approve. Commissioner Freeland, seconded by Commissioner Bloom. Mr. Manager?
Thank you, Mayor. I'm going to ask that the town attorney explain this, as it's an ordinance first.
Sure.
Thank you.
Mr. City Attorney.
That's okay. I've been called worse.
City.
This actually comes to us from Commissioner Freeland. She saw an ordinance on Miami Beach that was on for first reading, and she thought it was something that the city of Aventura might want to adopt, and it was workshopped. And essentially what this ordinance does, a little background if I may. The state of Florida has a law which it's called the Scrutinized Companies Law, and essentially any company that appears on that list, no government at the state level or local level can do business with a company that's on that list. And there are 38 states, I think, that have similar laws. The federal government is in the process of adopting a law that will say, they will no longer contract with companies that boycott, or engage in divestment or sanctions against Israel. So what this ordinance does, it essentially reaffirms that commitment that exists in state law, but it goes one step further, and that is it requires firms that want to do business with Aventura to certify that they have not boycotted, they will not boycott, they will not divest, investments, or they will not engage in sanctions against Israel during the term of their contract. So where state law just says you're not allowed to do it, the ordinance goes a little further and it says you have to certify that you haven't done it. And that's the ordinance in a nutshell.
Thank you very much. Commission comment?
Yes.
Go ahead, Commissioner Cruz.
Mr. Attorney, City Attorney, I would like to ask, because it says specifically boycott, can we add to say boycott, divest, or sanction? Because the term is BDS, boycott, divest, and sanction.
I'll check, but I think that in the body of the ordinance it says both.
Okay.
All three, but we can, this is on the first reading, we could amend it.
Please.
It doesn't want to change it.
All right.
So we'll bring it back on second reading with that.
Thank you.
So if in fact it's not in there, we need to have agreement here that we want it in there. So who is the motion maker? Commissioner Freeland, you would agree to that, BDS? Yes, and whoever seconded agrees to that? You agree to that? Okay, so that language will be a part of this.
Yep.
Any other comments or questions regarding this? And thank you, Commissioner Freeland, for bringing this to us. Any comment from the public on this specific issue? Seeing none, I'll close it for public comment, and I will ask for a vote.
Commissioner Freeland?
Yes.
Commissioner Joel?
Yes.
Commissioner Cruz?
Yes.
Commissioner Bloom?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Dr. Marks?
Yes.
And Mayor Weinberg?
Yes.
Motion passes.
Nothing on second reading. I think we're up to, correct me if I'm wrong, item 9. A resolution. I'll ask the clerk to read.
A resolution of the City Commission of the City of Aventura, Florida, supporting peace and security for Israelis and Palestinians, supporting the indictment, capture, and prosecution of Hamas leadership, and providing for effective date.
Okay, I need a motion to approve. Commissioner Cruz, and a second, Commissioner Bloom. Mr. Manager, who would you like to have review this?
I think, Mayor, you would be a perfect one to do this.
I think Commissioner Bloom, do you want to review this item, or Mr. City Attorney then? This is the resolution.
Yeah, sure. You know, I think we've had discussions about, and you've taken action today with respect to the one-year anniversary. There are a number of communities in South Florida that have engaged in, you know, similar actions. And what I brought to the commission was sort of one, you know, piggybacking off of what the city of Doral had done and what this village of Bal Harbor is doing, is to, you know, recognize the importance of peace and security for Israel and Palestinians, but also to acknowledge that the U.S. government, you know, is trying to take action as well. I mean, it's unprecedented. The U.S. Attorney General earlier, I guess it was last month, you know, indicted Hamas leadership. And what this does is supports the U.S. Department of Justice efforts to capture and prosecute, you know, these evil people. So this is just Aventur's sort of support for, you know, for the actions taken by the U.S. government to bring these people to justice. Although it's highly unlikely they're going to show up in the U.S. courts, it certainly doesn't hurt to urge the U.S. government to do everything within its power to engage in those activities to bring these people to justice.
Thank you. Any commission comment on this item? Yes, Commissioner.
So I would like to see if, is there anything in the language that talks about their paymasters in Tehran and bringing them to justice?
Indictment in full, but I don't think that's there.
Other comments? Okay, any public comment on this specific item, item 9? Seeing none, I'll close it for public comment and ask for a vote.
Commissioner Joel?
Yes.
Commissioner Cruz?
Yes.
Commissioner Bloom?
Yes.
Commissioner Friedland?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Dr. Marks?
Yes.
And Mayor Weinberg.
Yes,
Motion passes.
great. Item 10, reports. Mr. Manager, Intersection Safety Program, Annual Report.
Thank you, Mayor. As you know, we have a intersection safety program, or otherwise a red light camera program. The state statutes require that I read in the results of the report, that the numbers for this year, and that the commission accept these numbers. So I'll read them to you now. In the 2023-2024 year, the annual report summary, Aventura issued 72,473 violations were issued. A total of 42,786 violations were paid. 22,933 violations were issued as uniform traffic citations. If you do not respond to a summons, they turn into a uniform traffic summons. 627 violators came to the City Hall and asked for a hearing, which they come to the City Hall for. We hold those hearings once a month. Of those 627 violations, 412 of the violations were upheld. 120 of the violations were dismissed. And we have currently 95 violations pending final outcome. So a decision hasn't been made, and those are the ones that are down in uniform traffic court. Overall, 47.5% of ticket revenue, or $3,198,225, was distributed to the city's general fund. 52.5% of the ticket revenue, or $3,539,369, was distributed to the state of Florida Department of Revenue. The state takes that money and gives those funds out to their general revenue fund, the Department of Health's Emergency Medical Trust Fund, and the Trust Fund for the Miami Project to Cure Paralysis.
Okay, thank you. Can I have a motion to approve? Commissioner Joel, and seconded, Commissioner Bloom. And does anyone have any questions? Sure.
Ron, I'm curious to know how these numbers match previous years.
I don't have the previous years. This is the first year that I'm reading this report in.
Got it.
I can get you those figures, though.
Okay.
I can tell you most, the numbers definitely, the years prior, and particularly during the COVID years, the numbers went down significantly. So it was a couple of years we went down, but I would say this year we're above average, and I think it's just general driving conditions or how people drive lately. Seems if you drive on the roads, people are driving a little more aggressively.
And
Mr. Mayor, I'm sorry.
I just wonder if, with all of thousands of these, I wonder if it's not time to send some kind of a memo out to residents, just reminding them about red light cameras and that, there's not a good idea.
Of the red light cameras, 85% of them it's a one-time ticket and you don't see them again. 15% of them are multiples, and very few of them, the Aventura residents, you almost never see them again. They get it once and that's it. But it's an interesting statistic, So if you've gotten a red light, consider yourself one of the chosen.
I'm sure that's just what they think. Yes,
I just wanted to add, the reason why the manager's reading this into the record is because the state now requires you to prepare a report, present it to the commission, open it up for public comments, and this will apply when you eventually have your cameras in the school zones. The report will also include that data too. So this is required by the state. It's got to be done every year now.
thank you very much. Now, any other questions by the commission on this? Okay. Any comment by the public? Do you want to tell us how much you love red light cameras? Feel free. Okay, seeing no comment, thankfully, I will close that for public comment and let's vote.
Commissioner Cruz? Commissioner Bloom?
Yes.
Commissioner Friedland?
Yes.
Commissioner Joel?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Dr. Marks?
Yes.
And Mayor Weinberg.
Yes,
Motion passes.
thank you. So as far as I could tell from my agenda, we've reached the point where we acknowledge that two of our commissioners, Vice Mayor Linda Marks and Commissioner Billy Joel, I know we're going to be having a special commission meeting October 17th, but this is the last regular commission meeting of your terms. And in the case of Commissioner Marks, that would be 2 terms. I know it was, you were appointed first, then you were elected, then you were reelected. Is my memory correct?
Yeah.
So how many total years did you serve the city from up here?
A little more than 8 years.
A little more than 8 years. 8 years is our term limit, but first you filled in for someone that resigned, and then you were elected, and then you were elected again. And Commissioner Joel, as we sit here today, you are, to my knowledge, the longest serving elected official in Aventura's history, because when you were first elected, again, you correct me if I'm wrong, there were not term limits.
That's correct.
And then there became term limits, but you were sort of grandfathered in a little bit, and then due to the untimely passing of a commissioner on this dais, you
Took that over.
came back. You came back. Now, I just want to say, you're actually leaving by choice. And I'm telling you, I told you this last time, pretty soon I'm going to pass you as the longest serving, so you may want to come back, because you know how competitive we are.
In a different position. You're mayor.
That's true.
I was
You're the
commissioner.
longest serving commissioner, and that's
That's
not at
correct.
risk right now, yes. So, 2 wonderful people, and I'm going to give each of them an opportunity. This is very informal. Commissioner Joel, I think you want to go first, but do we want to hear them speak first or present them with, what's your pleasure, everyone? Commissioners, help me out. Do we want to give, you're each,
Speak first.
you speak first?
Yeah, let's speak
Okay,
first.
so
Get it over with.
Commissioner Joel? Please, the floor is yours.
Okay. Well, good evening. After 13 incredible years, the time has come for me to step down as a commissioner of this wonderful city of Aventura. It has been my greatest honor to serve as the longest-serving commissioner, and words cannot fully express how much this role and this city means to me. I want to take a moment to especially thank our city manager, our incoming new manager, Brian Pergese, Mayor Howard Weinberg, and my fellow commissioners. Your leadership, dedication, and support have made a profound impact, not just on me, but on the entire community. I am truly grateful to have worked alongside such talented and committed individuals. As I retire, I will greatly miss being a part of the everyday operations of city government. Aventura is more than just a city. It's a community that I love so deeply. Over the years, we've seen this city change for the better, growing into the vibrant, thriving place it is today. It's been amazing to witness that growth firsthand, and I look forward to seeing Aventura continue to flourish in the years ahead. I leave with a heart full of pride, proud of the accomplishments we've made together, proud of the cities we've built. Serving on the commission has been an absolute pleasure, and I will forever treasure the experiences, relationships, and memories. Thank you all for the trust you've placed in me. I will always be an advocate for Aventura and look forward to cheering on its future successes from the sidelines. Thank you very much, and I hope I'm around to see it for many more years to come. Thank you.
We're going to give you something, but I want to say, and any commissioner that wants to say something, please do. Billy, I had the pleasure to serve with you the first time around.
Right.
And when I moved to Aventura and started coming to the commission meetings, I would speak to you, and I consider you to be a mentor. You also clearly were a mentor to Commissioner Michael Stern and to so many others as well. I think you're a remarkable person, but the most, I think, redeeming feature, redeeming quality about you is you're always helping people, but most of the time, other people don't know about it. You never do it so that you look good or to take credit. You do it quietly and behind the scenes, and there are times when I found out that you had been helping someone that I accidentally found out because you would never disclose it, and I actually would confront you about it and say, why don't you say something? You're really, really a wonderful person, and I have to acknowledge your wife as well, because you're both cut from the same cloth, and wonderful, wonderful people. So I will miss you, but I know you're not going anywhere, and I'd love to tell people that you play tennis 6 days a week, like it's 7:30 in the morning. I mean, it's ridiculous, because you look at, for example, Moore came in, he played pickleball this morning and he's limping. I mean, you do it every day.
I played this morning.
It's really remarkable. So having said that, anyone else want to comment? And Madam Clerk, you'll get any commissioners have a comment, go ahead, but we're going to take a picture and give Billy what he deserves.
I just briefly want to say that both of you have been such outstanding leaders, and we've been blessed in this city to have so many outstanding leaders that have led by example, who have inspired the whole community, and all of us that sit on this dais that have come before and since. And we're proud to call you our dear friends. You are such capable, passionate, generous, and committed leaders. And most importantly, I can say that you are very principled leaders. You do what is right because it is what's best for the city, and you don't pay attention to politics or anything like that. So just want to say it's been such a pleasure to serve with you, and we look forward to continue that relationship and for you to continue working with us in the city. And thank you, many, many thanks for your great work.
Thank you.
I just want to say to Billy, our original Billy Joel, I thank you and appreciate you for all of your years of service to this city. Aventura is the city of excellence because you were here and made it that, and we really appreciate it. I also appreciate you getting to know me and not taking everyone's word for who I was. You put in your own effort before you would recognize me, before you would endorse me, before you knew, you got to know me. You did your homework, you did your research. And then, of course, I won you over and you've loved me forever. But he does his homework, he does his research, he knows exactly the decisions he's making, and he's always going to go out and make the right decisions after he has the knowledge. And I so respect you for taking that time to get to know me and to give me the chance. So we in Aventura are so thankful for you and all you have done. And we will miss sitting next to you, but you better come back and be with us all the time. Thank you.
I'll be around.
So Commissioner Joel,
Yes.
Commissioner Joel has been very active as a mentor in my life for many years, in mine and my husband's and the late Michael Stern's life for many years. Commissioner Joel really helped us in business when we needed him. As the mayor said, he always helps and doesn't need the credit for it, but you helped us a lot. And I know that you put your heart and soul into the city. I've seen you put your heart and soul into causes for Israel, people who need help, sick people, well people. You're always there when someone needs you.
Thank you.
And I know that you meant a lot to the Stern family. So thank you for everything you did for them. Thank you.
It was my pleasure, believe me.
Okay. Do you want to say anything?
Should I say something about Billy, or
Yeah.
go ahead?
Yeah, no. About Billy.
Billy, it's been a pleasure working with you. You've taught me so much, and you've just been a wonderful mentor. And you've always been totally, totally honorable, and it's been just a pleasure working with you. So I thank you.
Thank you so much.
And it's good, we always meet you guys in the restaurants. We like the same restaurants. So we always find you and can say hello. And you give us good tips for the restaurants.
I would just like to say one thing. You don't do it alone. Look at my wife. She helped.
Exactly.
61 years of marriage.
So we're gonna take a picture now. I'm gonna give you a couple things, and then Dr. Linda Marks, we'll move on to Dr. Linda Marks. I want to invite Sandra to come up for the pictures. Let me tell everyone what we're giving you. There's a very nice plaque suitable for hanging. We are giving you the key to the city. You probably got one the last time you served, but that doesn't, all the locks have been changed, so there's a new key to the city. But more significantly, when I was a commissioner, with former Mayor Enid Weissman, I realized that nobody uses keys anymore. Everything is a fob. So I created the mayor's fob to the city. So it opens many more doors. So you're also getting the mayor's fob to the city. And let's take a picture and then we'll move on. Sandra, you're more than welcome to be part.
Yeah, that's perfect. Perfect. All right. On three, 1, 2, 3. Stay just like, actually, Brian, will you move that chair just a little bit? Yeah, perfect. Sorry, like I lied to you. All right, yeah, perfect. 1, 2, 3. Stay just like that for one more. On 3, 1, 2, and beautiful. Great.
Well, thank you for being here.
This is Howard's chair.
Sure.
Thank you.
Oh, I don't know.
Oh, and this is yours. Wait,
Oh, wait, this is Billy's.
Wait, no, that's mine, yeah.
Okay.
I got pushed the other
Yours
way,
yours got pushed.
as far as I can tell.
Beautiful, it's beautiful plaque.
Okay, moving on, let me just make one comment, that any students that are remaining, I guess we should have done this like right after the pledge, but if you want to take a picture up here, you're more than welcome to once we finish, and then don't leave. We'll take a quick picture, but I promise that if they all come back next month, we'll do a picture at the very beginning, and then they can leave. All student government representatives, get them all here for the November meeting. Oh, maybe you'll get some hours. What's the date of the November meeting, Madam Clerk? November 19th. Dr. Beck, if you bring everyone here for a photo op before the meeting starts, that would be great.
I will convey your information, and I expect many of them will be.
Great, thank you so much. Okay, now, without further ado, Vice Mayor, and you're leaving, you're finishing your term as Vice Mayor. It's a very difficult thing to do, as I well know, because I went through that too. So you leave as Vice Mayor, which is very nice, and you served so admirably, and obviously you are known on this panel as the education expert. And your passion is very clear, and I'm quite certain it's not going anywhere. You're going to be around, and we're going to be building a new school, and your input's going to be always valued. So we're sorry to lose you. This 8-year thing, it's the right thing, but it's so difficult. And again, I went through it. But it goes so fast, right? So fast. So please, we'd like to hear from you if you'll grace us.
Thank you. So I might as well start out with education. As a lifelong educator with half of my career spent in public education and the other half in private education, one might wonder what possessed me to move into the world of politics. Let me tell you, there was no thought that I ever had of becoming a commissioner or any other type of politician. There was nothing on my bucket list that indicated that I had any interest in that. Advocating for children was my priority. During my career, I served as a teacher, a principal, a superintendent of schools in the public domain, and head of schools in the private domain. When I worked, my mantra was always the same. Children don't fit neatly into boxes. They need to be recognized for their strengths and their differences, and it is our job as the adults to be responsible for ensuring that while we acknowledge and work on the weaknesses, we celebrate and strengthen the differences. One size does not fit all with kids. So when Bob Shelley, who was on the board of the last school that I worked at, Hochberg Preparatory, suggested that I run for a city commissioner, I laughed out loud. My aunt was the first female mayor to serve in the city of Hallandale, and I sent her flowers. I was up in Chicago working at the time as superintendent, and that was my involvement with politics. The next thing I know, Bob told me I'd be a great addition to the government, and he told me he thought that it was a really good idea that I would run. I thought about Bob's recommendation, and the next thing I knew, I was in Elisa's office filling out the paperwork. and the rest is history. And so my 8 years of public service began. Under the tutelage and example set by our amazing former mayor, Enid Weissman, I learned so much. I couldn't have had a better mentor. I learned about respect for differences and cohesion among the entire team that she built. What a great way for me to start out. And I thank you, Enid, for that. By the time I was up for re-election for a second term, I had already developed a deep love for the work I had accomplished as well as for our great city. I won the election by a respectable margin. Thank you, Evan. And 2 years into my second term, my new mentor, Mayor Howard Weinberg, joined us, and I met the new commissioners. Mayor Weinberg made it very clear that our new commission was going to do great things, and he laid out his plan to all of us. Mayor Weinberg has led our city forward. He's always looking at ways to refine and reinvent greatness. I want to thank all of the commissioners that I've had the privilege to work with, and I'm not going to name them here, but they know who they are, and just because of time. Thanks to the two mayors who got me started and helped me end my career, Enid and Howard. Thank you both. Thanks also to Ron Wasson, our amazing city manager, Brian Pegues, Elisa Horvath, and every single employee who works in our fine city. If I read all the names, you guys will all be falling asleep. I'm afraid I would overextend my time allotment. Let me close with saying how proud I am to have participated in the opening of a new school, cutting ribbons for businesses, creating expectations for condos and HOAs after the collapse in Surfside, pickleball, the volunteer dinner to thank those who serve our city, employee salaries, unwavering support for our amazing police department, enhancing Veterans Day, the Veterans Day event, embracing the State of Israel, supporting the belief that there's no room for terrorism, to name a few. And I am proud to have served every single day, embracing my morals, values, and scruples, honesty and integrity, which are a part that are unwavering in my total being. Allow me to thank our residents and my colleagues for believing in me. Best wishes to those who will continue serving on the commission and those who will be newly elected. I hope you all can feel the same joy that I feel every single day and felt for the good for others. God bless each and every one of you, and God bless the city of Aventura. For those of you who celebrate, may you have a happy and healthy new year. Thank you for giving me the honor of serving as your commissioner and vice mayor for the past 8 years.
Thank you for the kind words. I'm going to ask if any commissioners that have comments, and then I want to invite former Mayor Enid Weissman to come and be part of the photo that we take with Dr. Linda Marks. Yes.
I had the pleasure of serving with Vice Mayor Dr. Marks on the Hochberg Preparatory School Board all those years ago when my kids were little. And I can say unequivocally that she is dedicated to the children, like full stop. I got to witness that after she was elected into the commission before I served, to see her dedication as well to ACES and particularly to the high school, which was just being built at the time. We know that, you say that you're an educator and it's always about the children, but we've also seen your dedication to the residents here in the city, and you fight for them as well. So I hope that while your service is done as a commissioner and as a vice mayor, I hope that we will still see you around City Hall, because we still need your help with the expansion of our schools and could really use your expertise in education. Thank you.
Commissioner Cruz?
So, Commissioner Dr. Marks, it's been such a pleasure and honor to work with you. Your integrity, your principles are just beyond reproach, your ethics, everything you stand for. I met you first when my kids, who are now, the older ones that are now 30 and 26, were in preschool. That was a while ago. And so obviously you've been incredibly committed to education, but also the welfare of the whole community. You really have been a shining example, and I've learned a tremendous amount from you. You are your own person. You say and act and vote the way you think is the right way to vote, always, without regard to favor or who's involved. And I think that's tremendous, and I commend you for that. And I will continue to look forward to working with you as you help us grow, especially with the schools and education and everything else. And I know you'll be there, and I look forward to that as well. So many, many thanks.
Thank you. Commissioner Friedland.
Dr. Marks, I am honored to have known you, and I know you in many aspects of my life. First, as a parent at Hochberg, when you were the head of school for Dylan, and you came in and shaped up that school and really made improvements for education, for the children, for our community. And you so impressed me that it was very hard to leave and bring my kids over to ACES. Then I was so lucky and privileged to know you as a resident who stood up for the community. When I, many years ago, found somebody moved into my neighborhood that had criminal felonies and was a child molester and was living amongst us, it was my commissioner, Dr. Marks, that I called as a resident, who jumped up and called the police and made sure the law was followed, and made sure that we were safe. And then when I went to run for office, someone said, why? And it was because what I had seen, what she was able to do for the community, that so inspired me, and said, I want to give back and help people in the same way. When I joined the commission with Dr. Marks and former Mayor Weissman, I never knew what education governing board meant until the two of them educated me, and they mentored me and they taught me. And I don't think I ever could have served as a member of the governing board without you and your tutelage and your mentoring. And as each one of us commissioner knows, you fight for the residents, not just the children, but as I saw as a resident myself, but now I see you'll fight for the residents. If it's for traffic, it's for safe and appropriate development, you always stand up with your mind and you say what we need to hear. And we will miss you here. And we hope you'll come to meetings and give opinions and share your knowledge with us. And you have done this to serve to the community, to serve us all. And we really thank you and appreciate you. And it's not goodbye, because I'm going to see you around the point and we're going to see you in the city. But we love and thank you for all you have ever done for us, and more to come. Thank you.
Thank you. Commissioner Joel.
I just want to say
Put the mic on.
that we're not going anyplace. We will be around.
I'll meet you.
The two of us, we're meeting at Bagel Cove. And we will be at the meetings, and we will let you know if we see something wrong. So expect us at the next meeting.
I'm sure you will. Commissioner Cruz wants you
Excuse
to...
me, we will also meet at Mo's one week and Bagel Cove the next.
That was very effective. Okay, so for Vice Mayor, I have also a key and a fob and a plaque. Let's do a beautiful picture, and Enid Weissman, come join us.
Brian, can I just have you come on this side? Yeah. Yeah, all right, there we go. All right, 1, 2, 3. Perfect. Stay just like that for 2 more. 1, 2. And 1 last one. Perfect. And you have the filter on there, right? Yeah, you got it.
Okay. I think the commission would agree that we would be remiss if we didn't mention that our city manager, this is also his final regularly scheduled meeting is today after 6 years of serving the city. He is not someone who seeks the limelight. We're going to present him with a key and a fob and a plaque and all that at a luncheon that we're going to have, as opposed to doing it this evening. We're similar in that we don't like the limelight, Ron and I. Stop. But I do.
I hope we have that on recording.
I do want to recognize that it's been 6 very, very effective years. If anyone saw the State of the City address, I pointed out that during the past 6 years, in addition to opening the school and completely renovating our parks, we added, and this is both since I've been the mayor and when Eden Weissman was the mayor, but during those 6 years, an additional $20 million were added to our reserves. Our finances, we are so healthy financially. There's $50 million sitting in the bank. You pay the lowest taxes in Dade or Broward County. So it's not really goodbye, and we're going to have a nice luncheon. But I want to recognize the fact that there's several people up here that are on their last meeting. The city will continue to move forward and continue to have very, very good people. And we, Ron, probably I think personally, the best thing that you did for the city was to prepare someone to step into your position. That is so important. A succession plan, and Brian Pegues is going to be the manager going forward, and that is really, in my opinion, a tribute to you, Ron, because we're going to be seamless. So I appreciate that and I applaud that. Okay, if any, absolutely, if any commissioner wants to say anything, the floor is yours. Vice Mayor? I'll do it again for you. Vice Mayor?
Okay, thank you. I would just like to publicly say that, Ron, you are a gem. You have taken all of us under your wing. You're available to us 24/7, no matter where you are in this world. You have always been available to us and to our city. And for that, I thank you. You have done an amazing job. And for those of you who don't know, Ron is a hero from 9/11. And Ron, you came to us with such humility, and yet you did so much for the city of New York and for the people. And we thank you. We can't thank you enough. And really and truly, you have been a gem and a wonderful person to be working in this city.
Comments from anyone else? Go right ahead, fight it out.
Yeah. Well, Commissioner Marks said it all, really, Ron, but I must say, I've been so impressed with you during the 6 years that you've been in the city. Anytime I've called for information, anytime you'd call from home, you'd call from wherever you are. And I just think that you've been a fantastic manager. And what you've done to train somebody to step into your boots, excellent. Really, really good. And I'm going to miss you. But I will see you in New York. That's for sure. Take it easy.
Commissioner?
I was saving my comments for the luncheon, but since everybody's speaking today, I want to thank Ron Wasson for being an amazing mentor and teacher. I've only been in politics for about 2 years now, and anytime I had a question about how anything works or what anything means, Ron has been my interpreter. So I really appreciate it. And I have seen in the 2 years that I'm serving that Ron is an upstanding gentleman. And I appreciate you literally holding my hand when we were flying to Tallahassee and we had turbulence and I was scared out of my mind. Literally. And I appreciate everything that you did going above and beyond for the Stern family. Not gonna cry. And you're just a good guy. Thank you.
Thank you. Commissioner Cruz?
Okay. To me, Ron Wasson is the prototype of a quiet and principled leader. He is so strong and principled, like I said. The words I would use to describe him are, he has tremendous integrity, honor, and duty that he has that sense of that's really extraordinary. You don't find that in too many people. You really are a mensch, Ron. And what I'd like to say is, with leadership, the difference between a good leader and a great leader is a good leader knows how to accomplish a tremendous amount, rolls up his sleeves or her sleeves and does it. A great leader is one that does all that while bringing along the next generation of leadership and always has the respect of everybody that works with him. And that's who you are, and it's been a privilege and honor to work with you, and we wish you nothing but success and happiness and good health as you go forward.
Thank you, Commissioner. So, moving forward, is there anyone that has anything else to report? Is any reports from the manager, the city attorney, the commissioners? No? Okay. Then what I'm going to do is open the floor for any public comment. You have 3 minutes, anyone that wants to speak. If someone is going to speak, then I'll ask the city attorney to explain the rules. I don't see people jumping up. Everybody's very happy to live in Aventura. You're all thrilled. It's a great city. I just gave your speech for you. I will close it for public comment. And ladies and gentlemen of the commission, if there's no other business, I'm going to ask for a motion to adjourn. That would be, that's a motion to adjourn by Vice Mayor Marks and seconded by Commissioner Joel. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, we are adjourned. If you still